The following is the Loot Gaming's review for Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Collection, which is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It's been 30 years since Ryu and Ken first Dragon Punched their way into the arcades to take on the villainous Sagat, and Capcom, with the help of Digital Eclipse, is celebrating the occasion with this comprehensive collection of Street Fighter goodness. There are 12 beautifully recreated, arcade-perfect ports included, covering all the 2D entries in this ever-ongoing series. Street Fighter is the all-time king of the fighting game genre, and while there have been many pretenders to the crown, Capcom's arcade beat-em-up has firmly ingrained itself into the upper-tier, VIP, Platinum card-carrying members area of the video game Hall of Fame. The collective package allows you to see, read, and play along the franchise's meteoric rise in gaming history. You want more story than that? Buy it and check out the museum entry, where fans of the franchise will find precious artwork from the original inception of Street Fighter and all the other entries showcasing the evolution of the series. As previously mentioned, you get 12 titles to play through. Each has the same base game mechanic to work from, a one-on-one beat-em-up. It's a best of 3 rounds contest to pummel the snot out of your opponent before the time runs out. However, what may surprise you is that each game does in fact play quite differently. While I doubt anyone will play the original game for very long, the other 11 titles each have the same tight, responsive gameplay that has made the series the monster it is today. One thing you do need to remember though is that these are ports of the actual arcade game, not previous home console releases. This means that your options are quite limited. You can change the difficulty, that's pretty much it. There is no match customization that you would find from a console release, meaning you can't change the number of rounds or setting it to infinite time limit. Game modes are also very limited, again due to these being straight arcade ports, only giving you 2 choices. Pick a character, beat up a friend, or take on numerous AI-controlled opponents until you face the boss, and defeat him and become the World Warrior. While the modes are few, there's still a lot in the box. Let's start with the game that started it all, Street Fighter, which I must admit has not aged well. This was the first time I had tried the original, and wow, it's really not very good. It's unresponsive and overly hard, though not in a good, challenging way. We then jump into the legendary Street Fighter 2, where many will have joined the series in their youth. The game is just as fun now as it was then. You also get numerous iterations of it, each having its own nuances and improvements. There's Championship Edition, which allows you to play as the 4 boss characters, Hyper Fighting, which added new moves and massively sped up the gameplay, which could be a challenge in itself, Super Street Fighter 2, which introduced yet more tweaks along with 4 new characters, DJ, Cammy, T-Hawk, and Fei Long, and then finally there's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which again got faster, added the super moves to the main Street Fighter series, and also welcomed everyone's favorite master of the Dark Hado, Akuma. They each play brilliantly, but once you've tried Hyper Fighting, you may find it difficult to get back to the older versions. After that, we have the prequel series, Street Fighter Alpha. This is such a huge change for the franchise in every way. The character art style was much more in line with anime, trying to tie in nicely with the Street Fighter 2 animated movie that was popular at the time, and the gameplay will rely on the new 3-tiered super mutant, air blocking, alpha combos, and even more types of super moves. All 3 entries of the Alpha series are included here, again with their own tweaks and an ever-growing roster. The final batch of games included are the 3 iterations of Street Fighter 3, the game that at one point people thought would never come due to there being 4 updates to Street Fighter 2 and 2 of the Alpha games released between the original Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3. While quite not as popular as Street Fighter 2, and never quite able to escape its forebear's shadow, Street Fighter 3 is still a master of its craft, but plays in a much more technical, strategic way, including the parrying. Just like its older brother, it was also followed by several updates, featuring changes to gameplay, character roster, and graphical flourishes, those being Second Impact and Third Strike. It's also worth noting that each of the games has an information screen, which includes several tips and tricks from the arcades, plus any secrets to unlock. For example, included with Street Fighter Alpha is a hidden dramatic battle mode. It's 2 human players, Ryu and Ken, taking on Bison at the same time, and is based on the final battle from the animated film. While that is a whole lot of content in of itself, that's only one side of the anniversary celebration. There is also the museum. This allows you to read a surprisingly in-depth view of the history of Street Fighter, with pages upon pages of artwork, behind-the-scenes notes, project plans, and other bits and bobs that you wouldn't even think of. Presented as an easy to follow timeline, you scroll through the years and expand bullet points to view the related information. You can also look at the in-game art, organized by character, to easily compare how the cast has evolved throughout the years. Honestly, there's so much more cool stuff to be seen in here, and you can easily lose track of time going through it all. Every fighting game lives or dies by its multiplayer. Yes, it's nice to whoop some AI butt and get your little ending cinematic, but the meat of the genre experience is in the back and forth battles with your friends. Ideally on the same sofa, but the online option is still there. This is a collection of Street Fighter games, a series on every fighting game fan's Mount Rushmore, so you already know the quality of multiplayer gameplay available here. Everyone will have their favorite. Personally, mine's a toss-up between Alpha 2 and Third Strike, but really, you and your friends aren't going to have a bad time playing through any of the 12 titles on offer. Even the original Street Fighter is much more fun with friends as you just laugh at it all and with each other's frustrations. The online options are as what you would expect. Leaderboards, ranked and casual matches, and the ability to create and join lobbies. However, please note only 4 games are available to play online. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I assume this is to prevent the audience from being spread too thin across the full 12 games. The presentation here is top notch, with crisp and clean museum exhibits of the fighting titles themselves. Each game, as far as I can tell, is an arcade perfect port, with the character designs, animations, and backgrounds all improving as the series progressed. The graphics of some of the later installments still look fantastic to this day. A nice touch is the ability to adjust the screen ratios and filters to recreate that arcade or CRT TV look that we all remember from playing the games in the old days. You can also add borders made up of actual arcade machine artwork. It's these little flourishes that add polish to this collection. My impressions of the sound, and I'll be honest, are usually influenced by nostalgia. Street Fighter 2 has some of the most iconic music in gaming today, from the intro tune and the melody playing on the menu screen to each of the individual stages. The sound effects too set off endorphins, be it in the limited vocals, the Shiryukis, Tiger uppercuts, the sonic booms, to the sound of plane moves as it travels from flag to flag on the world map. These are the gaming sounds I grew up with, and on today's consoles, they sound as crystal clear as my brain remembers them being when I was a kid. In fact, it's even better, as I played Street Fighter 2 on the Megatron, and it's a well-known issue that the sound was terrible compared to the SNES version. Stepping away from Street Fighter 2 though, the sound quality and music are equally as strong, though not as memorable in the later entries of the series. The verdict for Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is that we liked it. We liked it a lot. While it is a little disappointing that certain games, like Street Fighter 4, come on Capcom, you could have squeezed it in there instead of offering it up as a pre-order incentive for select content. Street Fighter the movie would have been great for laughs, and we have to forgotten Street Fighter EX series being with the cut. You cannot argue that there is a whole lot of great content available here. With arcade perfect renditions of some of the best fighting games in history, along with all the details and artwork included in the museum, you could do a lot worse with your money and pick up this amazing collection. Am I blinded by nostalgia? Possibly, as I grew up with the series, but I can tell you one thing. While some graphics can look dated, the great gameplay never goes out of style. We here at The Loot Gaming awarded an 8.8 out of 10. The Loot Gaming is a new, small, independent gaming site. We ask that you give us a shot, and we'll be leaving links to the site and our social media in the description below. Also available below will be the full written review. Go ahead and comment down below on your thoughts of this collection, and let us know if you picked it up. Also remember to follow The Loot Gaming for all your video game news, reviews, playthroughs, and walkthroughs. Until next time, gamers.